Ken McGrath, he's at left half back here. Eamon Corcoran, the right half back for Tipperary, fires it forward here. Kelly comes out for it. Benny Dunn's there as well. It's Benny Dunn striking, and Benny Dunn has put it over the bar. Excellent move from right half back to left half forward, and a couple of others available also. But Benny took on the responsibility here. And a very fine shot. So Tip lead. Ken McGrath keeping it away there from the attentions of Paul Kelly. Comes back out towards Eddie Enright. One quick look up at the post. That's enough. That's all he needs. Great score by Enright. And this is where it was one-handed, knocked just ahead sufficiently by Owen Kelly to the waiting Eddie Enright, and the Thurles Sarsfield's player gets his first point. Fired down into the corner for Paddy O'Brien. Player has been plagued with injuries down the years. That's a great point by O'Brien. There was a little doubt about him coming into the match, but he was convinced he could start, and he started very effectively. It's another one for Tipperary, and this is where Paddy O'Brien put him 3 points to the good. Great bit of control, nice bit of confidence. Interesting that Tipperary have opted to play Owen Kelly at full forward in this match, with Tommy Dunn going to his left and Paddy O'Brien to his right. Bad clearance, comes all the way back here to Eamon Corcoran. The Dunn brothers are in there. It's Benny who has it. Benny Dunn trying to go forward. John Carroll's in there as well. It's a goal chance here for Carroll. Into the corner. 12 minutes are gone. Great movement by Tipperary. And John Carroll gets his 4th goal of this current league campaign. They were tearing Waterford apart at the back. Lots of pressure play here from Benny Dunn. He was the provider, and there was no way you were going to stop John Carroll, and easy in the end. Well past Stephen Brenner. First goal of the match then, credited to Tipperary's centre half forward. Beyond Dave Bennett. Comes back out here towards Michael Welch. And that has gone over. The midfielder doing well. Well, that's 3 attempts then from the midfielder Dave Bennett. Finally produces a score for him, but he's always available. And the Waterford fans getting behind their team. Fanning trying to get it. Leaving it there for Martin Marr. Beyond John Carroll. Benny Dunn tearing through. Going right beyond the cover there of Brian Phelan. And once he got into the clear, that was enough. And the white flag raised, credited to Benny Dunn, his 2nd point of the match. Again, the defence not entirely sure of themselves. And once there was a gap, it was exploited brilliantly by Benny Dunn of Toomevara. Broken down over there by Owen Kelly. There he is again. Turned back towards Tony Scroop. Minor just 2 years ago. Nicely contained there. Oh, that was Tommy Dunn right across the face of goal. Others had given up on it, but not Tommy Dunn. Turned brilliantly and hit a bullet. It just wasn't on target, however. Morris's task is in to mark Dave Bennett, who's moving around too freely and getting on the ball too much. This is nicely taken in here. Oh, nicely over, but it might have been a goal there, and John Mullane appreciated that. It's his first point, but he was going for a goal, no question about that, and you could see by his demeanour that he's upset and annoyed with himself. He had the measure of Philly Marr here and thought he had everything done well. Again, there's a break on here. Kelly's going through, and it's stopped by the goalkeeper, and it's gone over the bar. Should have been a goal for Owen Kelly, but again, there was a great deal of uncertainty in the Waterford defence. Prendergast back to Dave Bennett. And this time, the referee indicts Philly Marr for fouling John Mullane. It's going to be a free in for Waterford. So this the easiest, it would appear, of the 3 frees taken by Paul Flynn so far. He goes for a goal, it comes back to him. Might as well. He's going for it again, and it's stopped once again by Brendan Cummins. Did it go out over the end line? Paul Flynn certainly thought it did. The umpire doesn't agree, play continues, and where Waterford might have had a point, they have nothing. Paul Flynn decided we'll go for a goal this time. It was stopped initially, came back to him, the defence in a muddle. He had another go. Watch for Cummins saving at the near post, and the ball remained in play. Eamon Corcoran grabs it well with the left hand. The distribution out to Tony Scroop, the vision to pick out the new man in, who is Colin Morrissey. He scores! Declan Fanning battling, trying to shore up the middle for Tipperary. Paul Kelly towards Benny Dunn, over his head, runs on to Tommy Dunn, top of the left, great ball into Owen Kelly. Here should be another goal, and is. Tip's second goal, Owen Kelly's first of the day, comes after about 50 seconds. What a great start. What a great ball by Tommy Dunn to pick out Owen Kelly. Seamus Prendergast back out towards Dave Bennett, turning inside the cover of Colin Morrissey. Comes back out once again to Andy Maloney. Maloney has a man over, opting to use him. Oh, the shot was a rasping one over the bar from the stick of Michael Welsh. Possible goal chance there for the taking, as Maloney was shouldered, got it into the clear, got it out to his wing forward, and Welsh from Stradvalley points. Touchdown by Ken McGrath to Welsh once again. Another man waiting to help out was Dave Bennett. Way down towards John Milan. Milan protesting that he's been held repeatedly there by Philly Marr. It comes back to Milan. A point by John Milan, his second of the game. Time and again it happens. Waterford seem to have to fall into arrears seriously before they wake up from their slumber. And when they do, they carry the fight to the opposition, as they're doing here in Thurles. John Milan with the turn, Eamon Corcoran with the challenge. The referee says high challenge, free in. And John Milan is certainly up for the fight. There he was, being pulled back by Eamon Corcoran. This is one Paul Flynn simply has to point. Again he goes for a low. He's got a goal! Who else would attempt it? 11 minutes of the second half are gone. He'd missed a couple of pointed efforts from frees, but he's put just a goal between them here. Once again, cheeky as you like. He went for 3 and not 1. The keeper was deceived and Brendan Cummins was beaten. Tony Brown in difficulty. Tips trying to swarm all over this Waterford defence. Standing firm there was Declan Prendergast. Can't get it out, however. It comes in the end to Colin Morrissey. Blocked down well. Comes back out again to Tony Brown. Brown swinging around a couple of times. Down into the half forwards. The game has suddenly taken off since that Paul Flynn goal from the free. Comes back to Ken McGrath. The hand pass into the centre. Dave Bennett going forward. Good mazy run here by the midfielder. Support outside in the figure of Jack Kennedy is just into the action. Little flick back. Good of it back to John Milan. It's the point of the game. A third point of the match for John Milan. But that was the most impressive score we've seen today. The little back flick there from substitute Jack Kennedy, teeing it up beautifully for Milan to strike. John Carroll with a wonderful catch. Bad shot, however. 3 Waterford men waiting for the mistake if it happened. Michael Welch availing of it. Carroll fouling. Free out to Waterford. The free is left to Dave Bennett inside his own 65-metre line, close to the keeper. Well taken that time by Brendan Cummins. out to his wing back to Eamon Corcoran. Closed down by the Waterford team, but there's still a gap there beyond Morrissey, but there's a man in support, and that man is Tommy Dunn. Way back in the middle this time, change of attack. Scroop leaves it behind, on they come again, and it's into the back of the net, and it's scored by the substitute Seamus Butler. What an entrance in the 16th minute of the second half. It was Seamus Butler who got onto it, and got onto it well, and beat Stephen Brenner. At the other end, Corcoran's under some pressure, the pressure applied by Paul Flynn. Flynn advancing, waiting for the free to be awarded. In the end, he gets it. Tipperary protest furiously to referee Tommy McIntyre from Antrim, feeling that Waterford were playing for that. The last one he got a goal from, he's going again for it. Well, I think a point might be a wiser option, but still about 20 minutes to go. This time he does tap it over. A goal and 4 points. When he goes for the conventional, you almost feel disappointed. Beautifully caught there by Colin Morrissey. He's impressing in midfield for Tipperary. Final shot might just get over, and it does. That's a second point now for Colin Morrissey. John Carroll. Great score by Carroll. Nobody really able to contain him. He's got a goal and 2 points. He's won a lot of ball. And certainly Tony Brown has struggled up against the physical might of John Carroll here. Good tuck out by the keeper. And great ball up to Owen Kelly. What a stop! Great stop by the goalkeeper, Stephen Brenner. They're in on top of him. So look at the turn here. And Owen Kelly got away, but he's looking for his second goal of the match. In after it as well was Seamus Butler, who got another one for Tipperary. And they could very well have added to their tally of 3-14. Our tip once again to throw away a decent lead. Fanning under pressure. Declan Prendergast coming forward. Or Seamus Prendergast, his brother rather, comes back out here. Paul Flynn, blocked down well. Great block down. Still, Waterford go forward, and Paul Flynn is fouled in a scoreable situation. Waterford want to draw this game at the very least and qualify for the league final. They may not even need a draw to get there. Paul Flynn will hit it. He's got 1-9 so far. He's got 1-10. They're level. And it ends with Waterford much the happier. They're through to the National Hurling League final. They've drawn today against Tipperary by 3-16 to 1-22.
You know, we're going out to try and maybe, you know, get that national title. Waterford haven't won too many. It's 63-41 years ago, I think, in the last time they won. So we'll have a good go off it anyhow.
Yes, a draw, a fine result for Waterford and Tipperary in Semple Stadium in Thurles. A fabulous game, fabulous second half. Joining me now is Ger Lucknan. Ger, what did you think of the game?
I thought it was absolutely marvellous, especially the second half. And I suppose it was a game that typified Waterford, Marty. You know, over a season they usually mix the good, the bad, and the mediocre. Today they managed to do it all in one go. Like very poor in the first half, mediocre just after half time, and then absolutely brilliant for the last 25-30 minutes of the game. Now, I think three main things brought about the transformation. They put John Mullane in full forward where he went to town on Philly Maher. They upped the intensity of the game. That was the main thing. They're really up to the Munster Championship pace, and they used the full width of the field. If Waterford did this every day, nobody would beat them. But they're so inconsistent. Now, we have a clip here that shows Waterford at their best. You know, ball breaks back here to Tony Brown. Now look at how they close down the Tipperary forwards here. You see, it seems that the Tipperary midfield is going to clear shot at goal. He's blocked down. That's championship type hurling. Tony Brown comes out of it, shoves a man out of his way, drives it down the field. Now Declan Fanning, who's turning into a very good centre back for Tipperary, wins it here, drives it back. Now again, the Waterford half-back line. Now watch this. He's at the far sideline, Ken McGrath. Passes it into Dave Bennett. Comes across the field. Now admittedly Fanning slips here. Now this is delightful play. Passes it out to Jack Kennedy, who come on his up. Now look at this for a flick. Back to John Milan. Milan coming off his man, puts it over the bar. Now, isn't that fabulous hurling? Now Waterford could do that more often, but so many times they go down the centre, get caught, and everything breaks down. Now we've another clip that shows Tipperary, I suppose, at their best, and 3 marvellous goals. Now the first one here, Benny Dunn into John Cal. Now look at, I suppose, apart from showing how the Tipperary's strengths in scoring the 3 goals, it also shows a weakness in the Waterford full back line. Now again, a ball in here to Tommy Dunn. Now Tommy Dunn was his most effective when he came out the field today. Look at this for a delightful ball to Owen Kelly. Kelly has gone off his man already. He's loose, and when he gets it like that, there's only one result: he buries it. Now again, look where Tommy Dunn is again. Now Tommy started a full forward, but when he was out at midfield, that he did his best work. And Seamus Butler, who's turning into a very good prospect, I think, after being under 21 last year, absolutely buries it in the net. Now I suppose worse still for Waterford is Tip got 3 other chances of goals, and Owen Kelly got 2 more, and Tommy Dunn got another. That could have been 6 goals today. Now they conceded, was it 5 or 6 against Galway the last time? So there is a danger there for Waterford. But the great thing about them today was when all seemed lost, for once they fought back. They opened the shoulders, they upped the intensity, and they won they drew the game, which is great.
They certainly showed they can play hurling in the second half. We'll talk more about that later on. Earlier in the day, Limerick, boosted by their late victory over Clare last week, travelled to Pearse Stadium, knowing that their opponents were focused on a final place depending on their winning margin. Would Galway win, and by how much? With that story, here's Darragh Maloney.
Galway needed a big win to book their place in the league final, but that looked unlikely early on as Limerick kept pace with the home side. Donnacha Sheehan's point had them ahead midway through the first half. Eugene Clunan was excellent all the way through the game. He had hit 4 frees before Alan Kearns was set up for one of Galway's best first half scores, but Limerick still led 8 points to 7 at half time. Galway made a dream start to the second half with a goal in the 36th minute from Damien Hayes. The home side never looked back from there as barely 2 minutes later Kevin Broderick found the net, and that big margin of victory for Galway looked on. Things got worse for Limerick as they had centre forward James O'Brien sent off by referee Adon McSivna. O'Brien appeared to strike Fergal Healy, and the replay certainly backs up the referee's decision. It didn't take Galway long to make that extra man pay. Eugene Clunan's goal and his total of 1-7 came after 43 minutes. Galway were 9 points ahead. Limerick, to their credit, did try to rally, but Ollie Moran's goal with just over 10 minutes to play was little more than a consolation score. So Galway into the National League final. They beat Limerick by 315 to 110.
So this is the 2004 National Hurling League final lineup, with Galway taking on Waterford on the 9th of May at a venue to be announced. A very interesting pairing. The last time they met 4 or 5 weeks ago, Galway full forward Eugene Clunan scored 3-7 below in Walsh Park as the Galway men won impressively. You talked about the Waterford attack. What about the Waterford full back line? Are they as porous as before?
Well, look, they're facing an even more dangerous full forward than Leicester. Broderick, Hayes, Clunan. You know, the potential that's there to inflict damage is massive. But Waterford have been very lucky to get this far. They just edged out Offaly to move on to this phase, and now Offaly are relegated. Waterford in the league final. They were very lucky today to have a referee who gave them a free every time a Tipperary back approached, not to talk of tackled a Waterford forward. But the wind is in their sails. I think this is their #1 priority. They know they won't win the All-Ireland, or I think they won't win the All-Ireland, but they could win the National League. It would be mighty for the game, because I think it would be better if Waterford did win it, and I think they might.
So Gerald Nan says Waterford for the league title. Thank you very much indeed. There was also some unfinished business in the National Football League as Galway and Tyrone once again went head-to-head in their semi-final replay. Darragh Maloney brings you this report.
Extra time failed to separate these two in Omagh last week. Today's game was another fantastic battle. Michael Donnellan gave Galway the perfect start. That goal after only 2 minutes. But it didn't take Tyrone long to get over the shock of that. The excellent Mark Hart kicked their 3rd point of the game. But Galway were the better side in the first half. They proved that point through Pádraig Joyce, who put them firmly in charge with another goal, this one after 13 minutes. They could have been even further in front. They were awarded a penalty, but McConnell saved Derek Savage's disappointing effort. Despite that, Galway were 8 up at half-time. They were 9 clear when Tyrone finally hit form. Sean Kavanagh led the revival with that effort after 49 minutes. Tyrone had scored 1-7 without reply in a 15-minute spell. Galway were really struggling, and then Brian Dooher put Tyrone in front with less than a quarter of an hour to go. They were leading for the first time since the 2nd minute. 2 minutes from the end, Joe McMahon put Tyrone ahead, but Pádraig Joyce would seconds later wipe out that lead. The sides were level for a 4th time and into extra time again. And it was Galway who started the extra time with more purpose. John Devan putting over one of the scores of the day. But the champions were determined to hold on to their crown. Owen Mulligan brought them back on terms with a point, which meant it was level at half-time in extra time. But surely he was thinking about a goal. But Galway were not to be denied. Nicky and Tommy Joyce kicked points before Michael Donnellan sealed their place in the final with that great point. So no 3 in a row for Tyrone. It's Galway against Kerry in next week's final. Galway 2-18, Tyrone 1-19.
Great game in Pearse Stadium in Salt Hill and a beautiful day. So Galway qualified for the league final against Kerry, and what a prospect that is. A game that will be played with the Division 2 final between Offaly and Down in Croke Park next Sunday. It's time now to turn our attention to the Oval Ball as Munster went in search of a 3rd Heineken Cup final place in 5 years. Today, Lansdowne Road was a sea of red as the Munster men travelled to the capital to face the might of the reigning Zurich Premiership winners Wasps. Your match commentator is Jim Sherwin.
Howley once again. They're on to Leota on the crash ball. A couple of metres stop. This is a terrific drive, and there are men to spare here if they want to use them. There's an overlap. Yes, absolutely. It has to be. And an early try. And Josh Lucy is the man. Did what he did against several teams in the World Cup when he got 5 tries in one match. Well, this is another serious blow. The one blow we really hoped that would not happen. Ronan O'Gara can't continue. It looks very much as if the hamstring is gone. We'll find out more about that in a little while. But this is a serious blow. And now Jason Holland will come in, and he'll probably go straight in at out half. Holland, Howley, is he tackled? But surely Volley will get the try. What a cruel piece of luck for Munster. And Paul Volley gets his first try in the Heineken Cup. So he once again putting in big tackles. Howley not doing anything except feeding the big men. Delalio, this is Boyce. It's a good run. It's a very, very good run indeed. And he's got 3 in support. That's a carving run, and here's a big opportunity for Van Ginsenberg, and he must be there. You happy? That's the Wasps 22. Christian Cullen in the line, making an extra man, and well played. Here's Keogh. He's got pace, Keogh. 5 metres away. Munster on a huge surge here. Are they in the corner? Well, he's given it. He's given it. Stringer. To Foley once more. Hands up! Stringer again. And he's in again! They can't believe it. And it might be Marcus Horan. It is! It's Jim Williams. And Howley's got 2 to his left if he wants them. Oh, he's through! This is a 7-pointer for sure. And here goes Boyce again. Past Cullen. Well, Holland did very well. Van Gisbergen. Away, Red! They're right up to the Munster line. Almost unstoppable, but then the Munster red line hold firm. King playing scrum half into Leota. Leota must surely be there, or did he drop it? Try. And Munster lose the semi-final. It's the 3rd semi-final they've lost.
A very tense, exciting game of rugby, and once again, heartbreak for Munster. Joining me now is former Irish international Tony Ward. as one of those heartbroken Munster people, what went wrong today?
Well, certainly not having David Wallace, that didn't help. And Ronan going off after half an hour was a huge burden. But I think it was more a case of Wasps doing what they do so well. I mean, they had this 4-up defence across the middle. They suffocated Munster in that area. They were very aggressive around the fringes. And when they play that rugby and get in the groove, they then play it off the front foot behind. And I just felt out in the middle of the field they looked so much more creative than Munster did. I think you got the total